Good evening everyone. Right, well we've got a few updates to show you, nothing too exciting, it's all tricky and fiddly and time consuming work now I'm afraid. Anyway, we've done a bit. Now that pipe that I got, this pipe I measured it and it's actually seamless pipe and quite accurate, so I thought, well, rather than try and make that fit a piston that I've got, because we can make an aluminium one. I want to make most of it. So I did that bit there, and I'm not sure if you can see inside. I just that end, did it with fine emery, and it's actually pretty true. You know, I mean, yeah, it's as near as I can measure about 1,000, so that's pretty true. So I thought I'd better have a go at making a piston. So I cut that chunk of alley up that I got. I've done 2, right, and just started on the piston. So it's going to be about 1 inch and a bit. Luckily we're not to size. It's just got to fit that. And so you can see that's a lot of filing and sanding, and it's got to be pretty true, obviously. And so I've got to think of some ideas of that. And I did, as I say, I got 2 blocks, so we've got 2 chances of that. Now the crankshaft journal, I got that done, and it's been difficult as well. And I don't know if you can see on there that it's not square, it's looking down, but anyway, that's quite an easy fix. I tried drilling, that's the second attempt, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see on, well you can, I'm sure you can see on that how far the hole is out around at the bottom. So I tried again, the top was just about right, so I tried again, it's come better. Anyway, all I have to do, of course, is to, if I file that top piece, when it's finished and I've got the conrod done, and the big end, because that's like the big end, you know, and by the way, the big end, I'm going to see, well, I'm sure I can do this, is to make it out of steel with like a proper little tiny big end cap with 2 of these, a little bit like this, right? So what you do, you just get a piece of steel and drill a hole that is very tight for that. You can actually file it and sand it out, that's time consuming, it doesn't matter. Sorry, you split it and drill some caps, a bit like this. If you can see how that's done. I'm having to lean over to see it. There you are. See how that's done? Right, so you drill it and split it. That one I did afterwards, because it's got quite a bit in there. That'll be a bit of rubber or leather if I can find a bit thicker bit, because leather is original, isn't it? You know, so you can tighten that down gently and make that a good fit. So we've done that, and that's all finished. And as I said, the piston is going to be very time consuming, not worth showing you that. But that brass rod, which is going on the end if you remember, this brass rod here is going to go on the piston, like that. And that's got to be put in the middle, of course, pretty true. And then of course the conrod goes from there. Let me hold that end up so it's easier for you to understand. The conrod then goes to that, which goes to the piston, so that goes straight like that. The end of that brass rod has to be slotted with a pin for like the little end, if you like, of the conrod, which then goes up to the crank pin, you know, the journal there, which I've done. So as that goes round, obviously that pushes, it goes round like that, and it pushes like that, that swivels on there, on that bit, and that pushes the piston in and out. So I'm sure you can understand that, it's simple, isn't it? So we've done that. I finally track the balancing. Sorry, the truing, not the balancing. It'll have to be rebalanced slightly when I've finished. Anyway, that bit is finished. I've put the screw in and I've made that bit, done that today. But we've got this true now. Well, I say we've got it true. We've got it as true as we can. Now if I tip that, and I'm just having a look to see, it's still glary. I wonder if I can... The thing is, when I did it the other day, without this light on, let me put it on the floor and just see. I did it without that light, and you couldn't actually see the needle. Well, I'm hoping on this one you can. Because it glared on the... But on the video you could actually see it, so I'm still not sure about that. Let me place it further out. Try that. I think that's better. It's always better if I'm in shadow, actually. Let's give it a go. Right, now the OD, you'll never get it very true because the OD is out. So if I turn that round, it's hard to get it just in place, touching the nuts there and that there. But if you can see, I mean, it's not that bad, you know, not that bad there. However, if you go in the middle, and I can't go all the way around, but if you go in the middle, which I think you should be able to see there, I've got to hold this firm. You're supposed to have a... Oh, that's no good there. Right, we've got to go round from there. I've done this to there. That's still not right somehow. We'll get there. That touches that, so I've got to come out a fraction. Back round. Well, that touches there, look, and you saw it knock. So look, going round. Oh, now I'll put my hand on. Let me change hands. As I say, you can see how much it moves just with me not holding it. And I caught it again. It is actually on. Now that's knocking on there, right? So if it, and on that nut there just about. But it is actually on, and you can see from that, that's moved again. But you can see from that, it's actually true, as near as I can, in the centre, to about 3,000. So, and I made this bit, oh I didn't show you that little bit, did I? The bit thing, I drilled it and put it on. You can probably see it there, but I'll just try. Oh, don't know what happened there. Camera switched off. Not to worry, we can join it. Anyway, I'm sure you can see that centrepiece, this side, that piece that was on the other side. Well, I put it on and just tapped the flywheel and got it true. So now, and I can show you this, the shaft is now held both sides. So that is not going to move. And I've been lucky actually, because I was only got a certain length of shaft. I thought it'd be too long, but with making that main bearing cap to hold it tight, we've just got enough. So we're a little bit tight on room, but we'll manage. And there is enough sticking out that side, you see. So another one of those, but half the size and a lot smaller, for the spool valve, that will go on there. You see, it's the same as that, but that will go on there, right? But that's, as I say, it's a lot smaller than that, you know, and we're going to have a different idea. Obviously, I think I'll put the cap screw on the outside, and I've got a bit of pipe that should do for that. Anyway, that's in the future. So this, as I said, that's finished. So there's the updates for today. So we're getting on, and as I say, I stand a chance with a piston. You see, the thing is, I actually wanted to make as much as I could, especially out the alley cans that I cast. I really did. And I was going for a steel piston for weight, because the thing is, when you tune an engine up, you actually you lighten it, because any weight that's moving takes energy. Well, I'm going the opposite way. You know, I'm trying to make everything as heavy as possible, so it takes more energy to drive it, so that way it should turn slower, not faster, because we don't want it whizzing round very fast. You know, it's not going to drive anything, just turn itself. So that's just another thing that we're trying to do. And again, just a reminder, although I told you about this, of an update of the cylinder, that now we've got this pipe cut off, I can show you a lot better. That block, I can cut a piece out of the middle, because like I said, it doesn't matter how rough it is. It'll be a fun thing to do. I'm going to try and bore a bit out. Oh, and it's downstairs. I've actually made just a rough clamp to hold that on the drill, so we can drill a hole through it and then widen it out, because I've got a little tiny boring bar. And the only thing is, on any boring bar, you watch any videos and you will see that I've got to keep moving the light about, sorry. You will see that you never use this when you're boring. Well, of course, I have nothing else. You've normally got, well, it could be a power feed, but you can do it by hand. By smoothly turning it by hand, it moves it down very slowly. Well, I'm going to have a go and see if I can bore it with this, with the fast one, by going down very, very slowly. And you probably see, you can't see that moving. So it just happens that I found this little boring bar, which is in here somewhere. Here we are. You should be able to see that. And that normally goes in a lathe. And I didn't even know I had it. Right? You clamp that in the headstock of the lathe, and then you move it in, and you turn the job, of course. You turn the cylinder. And then it moves in very slowly and bores an accurate hole. And you know, if we had a lathe, that's the way we would do it, and we would turn the cylinder. But we haven't got a lathe, as I said, and that's the whole idea of the project. So I thought, if I cut that off, it's got two ends, and it's about the right sort of distance. So all I have to do, I've still got to make sure it works, that, and get these screws out, and quite a bit. But if I cut that off and put that in there, like that, well, it doesn't matter how it spins round, how the cutter spins round, it doesn't have to be true. All it does is, I've no way of feeding it in, because you've got to feed a bit. But because we're doing a rough one, I thought, well, just for fun, we'll have a go and see. But I am going to have to do it, you know, without a fine feed. And so that's going to be amusing, isn't it, eh? It may or may not work, but like I said, in this instance it doesn't matter at all, because all we have to do is drill a hole in there for that, get a hole in there for that pipe to go in, and it doesn't matter how much clearance there is, as long as it doesn't come through the side, because the pipe is going to be held with that piece and that piece, which go either end of the cylinder. Hope that's clear for you. Right, so that will have a nicely fitting hole there, and that will have some of those, 4 of those cap screws holding that down, so that will hold the cylinder in place. So now we've got a bit more organised. I thought that might be helpful. Anyway, hope you like it again. A little bit of an update. and we're progressing very slowly now. So if you fancy some exercise, you know, come and sand that down for me, so it goes in that bit of pipe. That's got to be interesting and entertaining, isn't it? All right, cheers, ta.